Hello and welcome to my Fallout 4 luck perk tier list. So we're going to be going over all of the perks in the luck tree and ranking them in terms of overall power and utility. So something doesn't necessarily need to deal damage to be good. So for example, a high charisma build with cap collector is very good with a heavy gunner build because it makes your missiles incredibly cheap. So you can just stockpile missiles every time you go to a city. So this is a perfect example of a perk that, while it doesn't necessarily help you in combat, it makes it so that you can have more or less an insane amount of ammo. So that's just an example. All right, so Fortune Finder. This makes it so you find more bottle caps in containers. It scales it, it scales it, it scales it again, and then it also gives you a chance to spawn a bunch of bottle caps when you kill an enemy. So this is all about scaling the amount of caps you find in containers. You can find quite a lot of caps in containers with this. I'm going to put this at B tier. It's actually not bad in survival either. It just essentially helps you find caps. But do you know what's better than caps? Ammo. So, Scrounger, find more ammunition in containers. Find even more. Find even more. There's a chance to gain ammo when firing in the last clip or the last round in your clip. So, ammo is always worth at least one cap. Doesn't matter what it is. And very often it is worth more than one cap. So Scrounger is just better than Fortune Finder. So I'm going to put this at B plus because you can find ammo that is easily worth like 2 caps, 3 caps, 4 caps. So Scrounger is basically just cap collector but better because it just, gives you more valuable loot. So both are quite good though. For survival, they'll help your economy, especially if you don't want to rely on settlements and purified water and mutt fruit to make easy money. These can be quite viable. Bloody Mess. I'm going to put this at A plus tier. Damage scaling on all things, and then a chance to AoE kill multiple enemies. This is definitely, it's not S tier because it's not broken, but it's extremely strong, and it's definitely recommended to run this. I haven't invested points into it because I'm only level 15 on this character, so I'm still like making my build. I still need to get like better criticals. I still need to get crit banker. I just hit 10 agility. I want to get Grim Reaper Sprint 2. Which is coming up in a few levels. So I haven't invested in it yet because I also need Lone Wanderer too. So there's like critical things that I'm missing in this melee build. I just got Idiot Savant 2, for example, but it's A plus tier. It's really strong. Mysterious Stranger just scales the chance that it'll appear. There's a chance your crit meter gets filled. He appears more often. He appears even more. When he kills an opponent, there's a high chance your crit meter gets killed. So Mysterious Stranger spawns in and does crazy damage. This is always good to run. I'm going to put this at A plus tier also because when it procs, it's insanely good. All of these increase the chance he appears. If you're using a VATS build that attacks frequently, you essentially are increasing the proc chance. And then also when he kills something, which is very often because he deals such high damage, there's a high chance your crit meter gets filled. That's some big value, especially with the crits and VATS build, so this is A plus tier. It's just good. Idiot Savant S tier lets you run low intelligence builds and have insanely high XP rates. And the third tier makes it so that you can get fat XP for like a period of time. This is really good. Even just getting to tier 2, this is incredibly strong. Now obviously you can run like up to 3 intelligence for Gun Nut and run this and it's still good. But the higher your intelligence, the lower the proc rate. But you can also run this with high intelligence. It'll just give you extra XP randomly, but it'll have a low proc rate. But it'll still, on average, give you more XP. S tier for XP rate. Better criticals. I'm going to put this at A plus tier. It's only good in VATS builds. If you have a crit out of VATS mod, then also it's good outside of VATS. But criticals are really strong. So being able to scale their damage, especially with sneak attacks, is insane. So this is A plus tier. It's not S tier because it doesn't really break the game and you have to charge crits and so on, but it is very strong. Critical Banker, I'm going to put it A plus tier as well. You can always build up crits on weak enemies and just find weak enemies, build up like a bank of crits, and then just have them for like boss fights and just easily kill bosses in VATS like nothing. So I'm going to say A plus. Grim Reaper Sprint, S tier. It's insane. You just get all your action points back randomly. When it's maxed out, you have basically a 1 1/3, a little bit over a 1 1/3 chance. So a third of your kills will give you all of your crit meter, or not all your crit meter, all of your action points, and refill your crit meter. So this is insane. So you can get more efficient kills by critting often with Crit Banker and better criticals, and then with Grim Reaper Sprint, you'll have access to refilling your action points and your crit meter, so you're just going to be critting everything, and everything's just going to be dying, so definitely S tier. 4-Leaf Clover, this just gives you a chance to fill your crit meter in one hit with a VATS attack. It's not bad, it's pretty good. I would say it's like B tier. Compared to all the other things, it's not like high impact, but you might as well invest in it if you have extra points and you're like high in luck anyways. It can help, but between maxed out Grim Reaper Sprint, Crit Banker, and better criticals, and like Mysterious Stranger and all these other things, you don't need this, but you can run it and it's good. It's B tier. Ricochet, I'm going to say this is like C+ tier. It doesn't happen a ton, but it can be useful. You can tank shots, which is nice, but it says enemies ranged attack, so this should affect anything. The closer you are to death, the higher the chance. I'm not so sure how good the chance is when you're close to death, but this is like okay utility. I'd say it's like C+ tier, but it's not nearly as good as like Grim Reaper Sprint. So that is my perk list, or perk tier list for luck. You have B tier, Fortune Finder, B+, Scrounger, A+, Bloody Mess, A+, Mysterious Stranger, S tier, Idiot Savant, better criticals, I believe I said was A+, and then Crit Banker A+, Grim Reaper Sprint S tier, 4-Leaf Clover B tier, and then Ricochet C+. So yeah, that's about it for this one. For Idiot Savant, I rated it so high because being able to power level can be useful in the early game just to like accelerate your build. And like, for example, if you want to like spike up your charisma or get some key perks you need, leveling up quickly from, you know, just doing settlement building can be very useful. You can hit like key upgrades like armor for better armor, waste like Lone Wanderer, and you know, start getting some useful things that your build requires. Like in my case, I got Grim Reaper Sprint and Blitz really fast. The first thing I got was Idiot Savant though, and then I just did settlement building, got 2 key perks in the early game, and it's been like really helping out my build. So yeah, that's why I rated it S tier. If you're curious, is like how is XP gain S tier? But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.